Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Wildfire and Earth. Today we're going to be doing a new moon manifestation pick a card reading. So before you, I have 3 different decks here, and what I want you to do is take a moment just to take a deep breath, breathe in, and breathe out. And then take the time to look at these decks here and connect with your guides, connect with your higher self, and ask them what message needs to come through from the higher spiritual realms for you during this new moon in order to help manifest your innermost desires, your soul's purpose, and genuine gratitude and thankfulness for the life that you lead. Spirit is coming through today, and they're reminding you that with every new moon, it's always darkest before the dawn. And it's time to move into a new era, a new way of being, a new way of seeing. And so take the time, meditate on these cards. And I also have stones placed here, crystals. Take a look at them. We have an octagon of amethyst for the first deck, clear quartz here for the second deck, and then a cube of red jasper for the third deck. So if you're drawn to one of the decks or one of the stones, you can either pick ones that match, or maybe you're drawn to one deck and a different stone. Perhaps you need to listen to both of those messages and take what resonates. Or you can watch all 3 videos and see how Spirit is speaking to you on different levels of your awareness. Either way is perfect, but we're going to start with the first deck in the first reading. I'll put the timestamps below for all the other readings. Don't forget to like and subscribe whenever I put out new videos. You'll get notified, so hit that bell icon somewhere on your screen, and I'll see you in the first reading. Hello and welcome everyone who chose reading number 1 and the Amethyst Octahedron. Welcome to your new moon manifestation reading. So the very first thing I'm getting right off the bat is that this is something that has been slow coming, okay? Because the Amethyst Octahedron is normally linked with the third eye chakra, and that can be on most of us during our spiritual journey. That's one of the last ones that open up, become clear, become regulated, and that we actually become conscious of using. We tend to be able to connect to our crown chakra a little easier via our root chakra and our heart chakras. So that third eye chakra is almost like, it's like if you're thinking of a musical scale of eight notes, the third eye chakra is that the seventh interval there that often goes overlooked because it quickly resolves from bum bum, it goes into harmony. So sometimes the messages that come through can appear disharmonious to where we're wanting to go, and so we can miss them. These are those subtle cues that are saying, it goes against every instinct and logic, but you should go this way because it will take you closer to your harmony, to your goal, right? That's the 7th interval there, okay? It can be dissonant or appear disharmonious, especially if you don't understand how energy works and how harmony works, right? So it's bringing you towards center. It's bringing you back to one, is basically what we're trying to say here. So this is all of that energy of the amethyst. So let's start. Your deck that you chose today is the Wisdom of the Oracle of Avalon. So we're going to quickly shuffle the cards for you so we can clear out these energies and really tap into you. Reading number 1. So you guys want to give me a little help right now, I want you to think about your question, what you're really wanting to manifest in your life for this new moon cycle and over the next 14 days. That way I can tap into your energy. Oh, there we go. Yep, I think I found it. It's right here. There you are over there on the left. So for me, that's your receptive end. You're trying to draw something in, especially this month. And that energy is coming out as the frog. Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. But the first image that came into my mind was the princess and the frog, kissing the frog, those type of energies before. Right? It's almost like that seventh interval that I was talking about. It seems disharmonious, it seems dissonant, but it's actually part of your emotional and spiritual journey, and you're releasing emotional baggage and cleaning up house, right? It's dissonant because it is showing you where dissonance lies. So this animal, it may be important for you overcoming the next 3 days. 3 days. Okay, so maybe the next 3 days, but I meant 3 weeks or 14 days as we approach the new moon, because that's how manifestation works. You state your intention on the new moon, and as it builds into the full moon, your manifestation comes together. So that's a beautiful esoteric message for all of us, that sometimes we may feel like we are at the finish line, but then you see a sign that says 2 miles to go. Like you're almost there, but not quite. Be patient. Don't give up the vision. Don't let your impatience get the best of you. And just remember to mind your P's and Q's, dot all the I's, sign any T's if there's anything contractual going on with this manifestation, especially if you're starting a business or if you're moving into, ownership of something. Make sure you're reading the fine print. And lastly, releasing expectations. Releasing expectations, because I'm definitely hearing that the universe is manifesting something through for you readers here on reading number 1 that is unexpected, and yet it's better than expected. And so Frog is wanting you to realize that things can be better than expected. Just go with the flow, rest on your lily pad, rest and wait and trust the universe, okay? You don't have to live in fear constantly. And the second card coming out is restriction. Okay, so this message is coming through that some of this, especially with the 3 and the 5, you feel like you've been trying to manifest this for a very, very long time. It's almost like you keep, this is the ultimate manifestation, right? And you just keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, and it's just not getting there yet. And what the universe and what the spirit wants you to realize is it's partly because you weren't ready for that step yet. You weren't ready to step forward quite yet. There was something within you that was in disharmony with your wishes. And so that's why wires were getting crossed. You had to do the work. You're having to do the cleaning of house, releasing emotional baggage in order to cut through the last few restrictions, the remaining restrictions on this moving forward. So those are the 2 kind of male and female energies, yin and yang energies, however you want to look at that. So let's take the main theme of the reading here. We're going to ask the Queen of the Moon Oracle to give us some guidance through this lunar and seasonal energy. Ooh, we got some cards jumping out. So you guys, there's that frog energy coming through really fast. Okay, so this is beautiful, okay? 44, mastery. Supermoon attraction. Okay, so I know we're doing a new moon reading, but a full moon is coming through. So this manifestation, like I said, has kind of been the ultimate manifestation. And this is your you feel like you've made the mistakes that you needed to make, had the learning experiences. It's time to move forward from a space of wisdom, from a space of experience. You're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. And so you're already further than you know. This is also reminding me with this person sitting here, watching the moon, looking at the stars. It might be a beautiful time to also look back at your progress. Okay, when you're going on a journey, if you keep looking back every 5 seconds, you kind of don't really see. A watch pot never boils, right? But if you take the time, look at your scenery, just pay attention to what's around you, be thankful and grateful for the experiences you're having in the moment, and then after a time, looking back, the view has changed. You're seeing things different. You're seeing new sights. You're seeing things you've never seen before. Different perspective. Beautiful vistas is what I'm seeing. Like, this is a beautiful scenery here. A beautiful image, and it's just expansive to me. So take the time to look back and see how much progress you have actually made. Because I do feel that with this sense of the octahedron coming through, there's been a bit of work, there's been a bit of trial and tribulation related to this manifestation. And we're going to dig a little deeper here with the tarot cards, but we'll keep all of these in mind as we jump into okay, so we have one card. Oh, come on. Already jumping out here. We'll set that right there. All right. Okay, guys. That's too many, and you're knocking down other cards. Y'all got to calm down. Okay. So there is some high energies here, and that might be also something with the frog, that the energy that you're experiencing is just so new to you that it feels restricted, or maybe even like a live wire, okay? But you're being asked to trust and don't restrict your flow. Go with it. You're strong enough, okay? That's what they're telling me. You're strong enough to do this. You're just in uncharted territory because you've never made it this far, is what they're saying. And that's a beautiful message, okay? So let's look at the cards that are coming through. We have the Hanged Man. Beautiful. So there's that different perspective, all about what I was telling you. And this is from your past here, okay? So you've been learning. The Hanged Man is all about growth, all about learning. The best story of the Hanged Man that I ever encountered was the myth of Odin and him, tying himself to the tree of Yggdrasil for days to understand the runes. He became one with the tree from which they came from, to learn, that Ogam language and breaking down the runes and understanding the symbolism and why, and the rite and the ceremony of why life happens as it happens. He became the viewer. He became, he had to stop himself in some way from participating in life. Okay, so you might feel as though in your most recent past, you have not so much been a participant as an objective observer. Wow, I feel like it. Observer. And you might be hesitant to take action because you're enjoying that space of growth, okay? But bringing into the present, you're meant to teach. You're meant to share it. And I feel like a part of this here and this restriction is possibly you might be safeguarding your truth, because you feel like if you share it, it will take away the magic of it, or it will take away the sacredness, or maybe there's some ego involved here and you enjoy being the only one who knows the answers. And that's where the struggle has come in, you guys, because this 4 is mastery. You're the master attractor, so you can attract information and knowledge and wisdom to you, but you also attract people who want to learn. So you have to learn how to be a balance of research and study and teaching and mentoring, and a balance, because you can't just take and take and take from the universe without restriction. The universe asks that you give back, that you keep the balance, that you become the catalyst that the universe was for you, that you become the catalyst in someone else's life. All right? And for the outcome here, we have the King of Wands. See, look, that is beautiful. Okay, so you have a beautiful story arc here where you went from, I'm almost seeing the student has become the master. Okay, so you are in mastery of something, and that's what, that seventh interval of where it's restriction and disharmony a little bit, is because you're almost to the point of mastery. It's right here in front of you. It's coming up, and again, here's the pupil. He's talking to his familiar cat, however you want to look at it. He's teaching lesser beings, okay? And this might be children. This might be people that just want to start on your path. So it's not teaching all of the advanced stuff you know. It's going back and teaching the basics of how you got to those answers. So this is even, kings never show their full hand. They don't give away everything they know. They don't give away all of their secrets and relationships. They hold them close to their heart because they are protecting people, others. You yourself might see yourself as a protector of sacred wisdom. However, we don't want it to be lost with you, and neither does the universe. So Spirit is saying you've been going through the trials and tribulations that you've been going through, so you can learn discernment on who to share your information with. Wow, that's really hitting home with me a lot. You are learning discernment on who to share your gifts with, who to set boundaries with, okay? That's the King of Wands. That's that energy of setting boundaries that no one can cross. They're made of fire. They will be destroyed if they try to cross it. That's a little harsh, but I'm just saying, you just know you're not going to go there. If you pick up certain energies or frequencies or issues, that's when the teaching stops. So know when to share. And Spirit is saying you've been working on this time of learning discernment on when and how to share, so you can share comfortably and from a position that fulfills you here with the King of Wands, and strengthens your connection to Spirit like never before, and allows you to go deeper where you do truly become the master. All right, that's all I have today for reading number 1. I hope you guys enjoy this beautiful supermoon you're going to be experiencing on our new moon. And be on the lookout for frogs. Be on the lookout for where you draw the line, where you put fences, where you may be having restrictions in your life that you can ease back on. And also be paying attention to the restrictions in your life that help you, okay? This is kind of deciding what works for you and what doesn't, getting into that teacher mode, okay? Be a teacher for yourself as well. This is true mastery. 44 is a beautiful number. It's very powerful. Again, it's an 8. So we have 8 being very significant for your reading. And so because we have 35 and 44, and then 14 here, we have the 5. So it comes with a little bit of challenges, but eventually it leads to fulfillment and happiness. That's absolutely beautiful. I want to thank you all for listening, and I will see you at the next astrological event. Hello, reading number 2 for those of you that chose this beautiful lotus deck with the clear quartz. The first message that is coming through is that this is about all of your chakras. Okay, it is about a full body cleanse, a spiritual cleanse, and also connected to ultimately the crown chakra because of the clear quartz here. As you can see, it is very translucent, very opaque. You can see right through it. So you may be seeing right through situations. You might be seeing into the heart of situations. And so now you're truly in a space to manifest from a place of awareness and truth. So the deck that you chose today is the Oracle of the Fairies. Ooh, and it's jumping out. So this is going to be your theme starting here, and that's this deck right here, Oracle of the Fairies by Karen Kay. And what is coming through is journey. It's time to prepare for a journey. It may be impromptu or planned. Either way, make sure you're ready when the time comes. Pack your passport now. Okay, so this is that you're making final preparations. You're getting everything ready to go. You already know about the journey. It's time. It's time. So for some of you, this is ascension. For some of you, this is an actual business trip or a journey or a vacation. You've known it was coming for a while. Either whether it's impromptu or planned, just make sure that you pack everything you need, get everything, buy all the tickets, make all the reservations. And especially since they're saying pack your passport now, this might even mean you may have some unexpected traveling adventures, right? So say, I don't know, I'm getting this sense of someone booking a flight to New Mexico and ending up in Mexico. Something like that, almost as if it's like a huge difference in what you planned for, but you're prepared and you're ready regardless. So expect the unexpected, especially I'm getting that with those red and white mushrooms there, that this is more of a shamanic journey and a soul journey. So even though you might be trying to, control the direction that it's going, you're not in control. The universe is. Your angels are. Your spirit guides are at the helm here. So just go along the ride, and if you feel something needs to come with you, take it. Don't restrict yourself. So that's coming from the divine feminine over here, and then from the divine masculine, we have tree wisdom. This tree dryad will help you navigate through your current situation. Her flute can reveal insights and answers through the sounds it makes. Okay, so listen for the bells. Listen for clairaudient messages coming through, especially bell-like ones or flute-like ones. There's a certain frequency that those fall under. If you're into sound therapy and sound frequency, definitely look up the range of the flute and what hertz it sounds at and how it sounds. Perhaps even listening to some meditations that are flute led. I know there's a lot of beautiful Native American pan flutes, Celtic penny whistles, Celtic flutes, even African flute music. There's definitely Asian inspired meditations that have beautiful flutes and different oriental instruments that might be speaking to a primal side of you, okay? And by primal, I mean something that is encoded in your DNA. Perhaps you reincarnated long ago in one of your past lives in a tribal society where there was flutes, where there was drums, and you're reconnecting and you're learning. Yeah, this is very shamanic journey, dream wisdom coming through, that's reminding me definitely of an ayahuasca type journey, okay? So this trip you're taking can be, metaphorical or physical, okay? These can be either one. Some of you might even be planning to partake in some sort of sacred medicine ceremony involving ayahuasca, peyote, or other psilocybin-induced hallucinogenics with, special shamanic, people that are trained in sacred medicine, especially if you're going through those ceremonies coming up with fall. It's a beautiful time to do that, especially during the new moon. This might be where you're finding your manifestation or finding the missing key, I'm hearing, okay? So let's check out with the moon, queen of the moon oracle here. I always want to say goddess of the moon. I guess it's because I have Diana up there. But it's the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. It's what we're going to be pulling our main theme from, because Boy, with that coming through, I'm getting some Alice in Wonderland vibes, Cheshire Cat. Things are a little wild on this journey, and it is definitely unexpected. So I'm hoping the tarot clears that up a little bit so it's not so... All right. We actually have a lunar god coming through, the masculine. Okay, so this is, taking with 42... Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is coming through, especially with Journey and Tree Wisdom. Oh my goodness. So this could be a galactic adventure that awaits you. Some of you might literally be connecting and ascending into the higher realms at an accelerated rate, and that's the journey you're preparing for. You're leaving behind everything you knew, transitioning into a new world completely. So it's about being prepared, and possibly even knowing that you're prepared for this. This is what you've trained for. He is very fit. He definitely doesn't skip his exercises or workouts or his training regimen. He's also wielding weapons. So that to me shows that he is someone who takes his position seriously and also cares very deeply, because here we have 2 children. Okay, so he is a protector of innocence, very similar to Diana and Artemis, the female counterpart of the moon. So for you, this might be journeying, and tree wisdom might be actually taking a sacred journey to help heal the earth of issues revolving around innocence lost and hurting children. It's time that we as adults stood up and said, this is not happening. It may have happened to us. It may have even happened to our children, but no more. From this point forward, it stops with us. It stops right now. That's the energy I'm getting of this lunar god. So your manifestation is definitely... the ramifications of your manifestation are going to be felt galactically, okay, guys? Because you're not here to play games. You're not here to, do small, mediocre manifestations for a car, or not that I'm saying those are small, because, energy is just different, but you're not so much connected into the material world as you want to manifest peace, happiness, and harmony on the collective level. And that is a huge amount of energy that goes into that. So as we go into the tarot, I will be keeping that in mind of what spirit is directing us through here, because this is intriguing. I'm excited to see here that this is not like the first reading at all. It was very different. And so this is definitely a higher, purer vibration that the fairies are bringing through to us. And they are not playing games, okay? This is not a trick of some kind. This is, we are going to show you exactly what's going down so that you can fix it. Because that's that masculine energy coming in to change things and make them right? I feel like the divine feminine creates, loves, and nurtures, and the divine masculine comes in to maintain the balance and keep everything running smoothly. Okay, so we have here the 5 of Swords coming through. Okay, I'm seeing working together, and also with this 5 of Swords energy, making sure you're not being hurtful with your actions. Okay, because although you do have this beautiful wisdom and you have gone through the journey once before, you're about to go through a whole other level of this journey here. And you might have to forget what you think you know. That's what this is saying. Some of your actions or something of what you're saying is actually doing more harm than good. So this might be just focusing too much on this issue that we're talking about, or focusing too much on what's going on in the world, focusing too much on the outside and not taking into account how it's hurting the ones close to you. This could have been a past problem, okay? So you might be realizing that how your actions were actually detrimental. And it's also possibly realizing that you have been in dissonant energy and that something about you, something about your essence is in disharmony with your environment. And so it's time to move on. And this is where the journey comes in, okay? This is where letting go, releasing, and, following your heart's desire, because it's time. The damage has been done, and it's time to look towards the bright future here, because something is being ready to being birthed in you. And I'm feeling it's that divine sun, not S-O-N-S-U-N, the divine sun. And so as we're coming to the close of summer with this new moon, we are looking at wrapping up the soul lessons, and we've just gone into Uranus retrograde. So you may be waking up or being shaken awake and realizing that the path you were going on was leading you away from your purpose, and you knew it. But there was either romantic connections, familial connections, relationships like friendships, close co-worker relationships that were holding you back. And by staying in that energy, you are doing more harm than good. And so it's time to let that go. And in doing so, this energy here of sadness, of regret and loss and pain is shifted to happiness, joy, and everybody getting what they want and a piece of the pie, okay? So this journey may be a journey of the heart, of letting go and moving out of discontent, because Spirit is saying you can do anything you want. You want a house, it's yours. You want love, it's yours. You want the ultimate knowledge, it's yours. You want to become a star, it's yours. It's possible. Anything is possible when the Wheel of Fortune comes up. It's also a card of your luck changing. So if you have been in this energy of stagnation, dissonance, disharmonies, frustration, difficulty, it's changing. It is changing for the better. And you're seeing that a little bit right now as you're making your way towards this journey. But the Wheel of Fortune says you don't even know. It can be so much better. I kind of want to pull one more card for this for clarity. Okay, so, there's the clarifiers. Okay, yes. So, all right. We're getting the Chariot coming through. Definitely this decision, this journey, of are you going to choose to stay in this dark energy, or are you going to move towards the lighter energy? But it's saying you have to make a choice. You have a decision to make. You have to keep going. And then here we have the Hermit card, which is very similar to this tree wisdom, the divine masculine coming through in the journey, because the Hermit is always, to me, a very shamanic card. And, mushrooms, flutes, drums, the divine masculine protector has always, to me, been more of a shamanic path, more of the protector, the sage, the caretaker, the protector of ancient tree wisdom, like with Odin, right? Okay. So Odin came up in my last reading. So if you want to dig a little deeper into what was happening here in this card, you might want to check out reading number 1, especially if you might have felt drawn to that one, but then you chose this one. Definitely go back and watch reading number 1. It's a little different. It's on a different personal level than this one. This one is a very spiritual level, okay? Because this Hermit card coming through is, 9. And this is a definite, it's fuzzy. That's how that works sometimes. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this Hermit card is coming through now, very clear, and then it's out of focus. So this is definitely a shamanic journey going on, because all the cards coming through for me are, you've got a choice, journey about it. So instead of making a manifestation, this is the 42, knowing the answer already, knowing what you want and knowing that you can get it. It's just journeying to find the best way to go about it, the best route that gives all parties involved kind of the best results, because you are the most altruistic energy that I have felt these readings. So it's really important for you to, have a clear conscience if you're moving away from something, and to have a clear conscience if you're moving into something as well. That's very important to you. It resonates with you a lot. So reading number 2, that is my readings for you. I hope you all enjoyed it, and catch back next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe in order to get notified whenever I put out another video, because I'll be doing another video for the next astrological event, and I look forward to seeing you all there soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hello, beautiful souls that chose reading number 3. I'm going to start by the breakdown of the stone. As I said in the introduction, this is a cube of red jasper. So the energies that I am getting for this are definitely related to the root chakra. So we might be dealing with family ties as far as our manifestation goes. So you might be manifesting something to do with your job or security, or even manifesting a down payment for a mortgage loan, or things like that, very linked to your household, where your money comes from, and supporting your loved ones. So that energy is coming through for you during this reading. And for your oracles, we're going to be pulling from the Mists of Avalon Oracle. All right, that one wants to come through for the Divine Feminine. And we have the Lady of Shallot coming through. Okay. And then for the Divine Masculine, we will draw that in just a moment as we address this card here. This is the Lady of Shallot, and it says around the edges, it says love, idealism, illusion, and victim. So this is really someone, I'm getting a mother energy here. Sometimes you love and adore your children. Sometimes you feel like it's all an illusion, that you have control. Sometimes you feel like the victim, and sometimes you feel like it's the ideal situation and nothing could be more perfect. I mean, if those aren't all the emotions and thoughts that run through a parent's mind when dealing with children in a whole household, and the whole responsibility of taking care of everyone, I don't know what is. But this card is reminding me to remind you that it's all about self-care. Okay, Lady Shallot is about self-care, because we have lotuses here, and it's about knowing when to rest during your darker periods where you may feel stressed or angry, and taking the time to rest, and realizing that you may think you're doing it all on your own, but that is a sense of illusion. You have a partner, there are, family, friends, people that you can reach out to help you with some of the responsibility of maybe parenting, especially during this time. I know a lot of us are taking on more responsibility. Some of us might be starting homeschooling, and that is a huge different struggle. So talk to one another. Don't idealize other people. Don't look on Instagram and Facebook and look at, oh my gosh, Jessica's got it all together, and oh my goodness, look at Rebecca. She's the perfect teacher. She has flowcharts. I can't even make prints out. You know what I mean? Don't idealize everybody else's experience. Okay, you may think the grass is greener on the other side, but it's an illusion, right? Everything is illusion, especially when it comes to social media. How you do things and how your children learn, you know this intimately. You've been teaching them since birth. You taught them to walk and talk. You were their first teacher. So just think back to how you did that. Yes, they have changed. Yes, they have evolved, but they are still the same intrinsic being that you loved and nurtured into being a child who could go out into the world and further their education. You did that. So now you can do this, and it's maybe temporary. It may be just even a stress or a worry on your mind, but don't try to play the victim. This card is definitely saying get out of that victim mentality. You're not the only one. Look around for support. Look around for groups that you can follow, or even homeschooling groups, organizations you can join, leagues maybe, especially to keep the children active, okay? Because it's going to be very important for you to have your rest. And maybe that ball practice when the kids are all at practice, maybe your only moment to yourself when you don't have to deal with, your partner or your children. You just need some you time, okay? You don't want to get to the point to where you love them so much that you destroy yourself, okay? So it's reminding you to take time for you. That divine feminine is coming through very strongly. Self-care, nurture yourself. And for the divine masculine, we have Brigitte coming through, the goddess of fire. She is also one of the only Celtic gods and goddesses that remained in Christianity. She is known as Saint Brigitte, and she has a beautiful church and even a what do you call that? What is it? Not a nunnery, but that's the convent. There we go. She has a convent in her honor at Kildare, Ireland, where they have an eternal flame burning. So this is, remember that if you are working on house and home and things are shifting, okay, so this is where that insecurity around money was coming from, and the household, is that a lot of us are shifting and making the decision to take care of our children at home. So some of you might be working on a one-person income. That is difficult. It is intense. And it's also having me here remind you that your soul is empowered. You are passionate about what you do, and to reach out to elders. Okay, I'm getting elders a lot because this is coming through for you for the same reason that our elders did this. They took care of their children. They nurtured. They didn't have to be in the workforce like you have. So the transition might be shocking for you, but your elders, like your grandmothers, your grandfather, even if you attend a church or other organizations where you can talk to our elders and ask them how they did things, how they coped, how they made it work. It might not be the perfect plan to follow it, to the T, but you're going to get wisdom and advice, right? That inspires you to take that advice and bring it into the modern world, right? You're modernizing it for you and your family, because what worked in 1952 isn't going to work in 2020. Okay, so things have changed. Things are different, but things aren't as different as we want to perceive it. We're still human. Bottom line is we still daily need to take care of one another. So those issues haven't changed. That worry, that security about family and household has only remained the same throughout that. It's just how you do that has changed. So seek inspiration. You might even call upon your own inner goddess to help you manifest ways you can make money at home. Definitely don't put your children to work. That's just a little joke coming through from spirit, because you want them to shine. You want them to radiate. And so give them things that give them joy and inspire passion, and find things that inspire your passion too. You might be dreading teaching math, or you might be dreading having kids at home more often, but find ways that you can connect and be impassioned, because I know we're all tired. I know we're all a little stressed, but it is not our children's fault. It is not our family's fault. And just remember to take this time for self-care so that you're not taking that stress and anxiety out on one another. Because Brigitte is a fiery goddess. So fire burns just as much as it transforms. So keep that in mind. This energy is a double-edged sword. Okay, so this is your guidance from our Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. And look, trust the egg moon, all right? And we have here, you're nurturing yourself, you're growing. And then we also have, the mother duck setting on her egg, and the father duck is expectantly waiting. And so 32 is coming through, so 5. So this is some challenges. It's going to be a challenging manifestation for you. And maybe this manifestation is even manifesting ways to have faith and trust in the challenges that you are undergoing as our modern world shifts and changes. And, you might have thought you had security and had all the answers. And, this transition period here in 2020 has come through and shown you that you had not prepared in the way you thought you had. So it's back to the drawing board, back to learning, back to reevaluating what you really need. It's very important to reevaluate what you really need and what you can cut out. That might help you with finances, especially if you're, a person who got to treat themselves often. Perhaps now with the children at home so much, it's that area is going towards them, right? Because they deserve to be treated well. They deserve to be rewarded for, going through this time. It can't be easy to be going through this time as a child. And so let's dig a little deeper into your family dynamic here in the tarot and see how we can help you gain some trust, right? And not feel like you're having to do it all alone. Let's see. I think that if you will just take a moment just to think about your personal situation, if this is resonating with you, definitely, let me know down in the comments. But right now, take a moment to really think about what you want to manifest so I can draw the perfect tarot cards for you guys. And I think I'm feeling it. It's right here. All right. Okay, so everything is coming out reversed. So that means just flip it over. Everything is fine. I'll talk about why I did that here just for a moment. Whenever I read reversed, I only read reversed if not all of them are reversed, because I think that if all of them are reversed, you should read it right side up, because it's just you just dealt the cards wrong. It's the same message regardless. But, here we might have been having some infighting, people getting their feelings hurt, people acting out on those hurt feelings. This could be within your job, or possibly you leaving and someone feeling resentful for, that not being able to support, but you are needed in other areas, and it's just as important. We're also starting to realize that our actions have consequences with others around us. It's not just us, so we're having to think about, this goes in line with, being asked to wear masks in order to keep others healthy. That decision is up to you, but, that decision is also not up to you, because it is also the law in many states. So if it's a law in your state, regardless of how you feel about it, do it so that you're not harming yourself by getting a citation or possibly even, being jailed, but you're scaring other people as well when you do that, because there's something about breaking the law that is intrinsically, negative to us. Now, of course, certain laws have been, abolished because they weren't right. But this one, wearing a mask is not going to kill you. It's not. There's a lot of fear-mongering out there about, Legionnaire's disease, and you're going to get bacteria. You guys, it's very simple. Keep a clean mask. don't wear it if it stinks or you've been wearing it too long or you sweated in it, get a new one, change it out. It's the same thing as clothes. Come on, we're adding one more piece of clothing. It will not hurt you. It's not a hazmat suit. So it's one of those things of be careful what you say. Being sensitive towards others and actually becoming aware of your actions and how it affects others. Because I think in our society, we think that we've become queens, right? Kings and queens, and ain't nobody's gonna bother me, right? Well, but you do. You exist and you're here co-creating this reality. And that's where you're coming into understanding. This might have been in the past where you've been having some issues, but you're starting to come into understanding that you are a nurturing energy, and you've prepared for this. You're ready for this. Something is being poured out of you. So it's very comforting that is coming through. Also, I'm hearing dolphins, so playfulness, song. You see the fish jumping, the cats playing with the water too. So there is a sense of playfulness with this Queen of Cups. So it's someone who is also in touch with their emotions. Remember, we're getting out of that victimhood mentality and seeing through illusion. So we're actually getting into the thick of our emotions, especially with Brigitte coming through. She's very strongly showing you the way, showing you what is actually happening in your life. Okay, oh guys. Okay, so we have the Ten of Swords coming through. I really wish I had a good outcome for you here, but it's really saying, this is going to be tougher than it's ever been. And I hate that I'm giving you that message. We're going to draw some clarifiers here, but I just feel like maybe you're not getting the support you need. Definitely maybe not being able to get out of that victim mindset, and it catches up with you, because the swords here are all... yes, she is actually stuck in place, but she has gotten stuck because of this buildup of negative energy and negative thoughts, right? So you've actually blocked yourself in some way from even seeing this light of Brigitte, this soul empowerment, this impassion, this moment of birth, this moment to shine and radiance. It's almost like you've given it up to chase some lower vibrations here. And so I'm gonna have to jump to some confirmation. Oh, there it is. There's the card. That's what, 2 want to come out. Okay, so 2 want to come out to clarify here. Okay, yep. So someone is definitely shirking their responsibility. I am sorry if that is happening for you. We also have the Page of Pentacles here. He's looking a little wily. He's looking like, okay, I've got some coin. I've got some time. I have an errand to run here at this castle, but if I just sneak this way and then, go through the town just to pick up a few snacks, nobody will know. So, I'm just going to give it to you straight, guys. There might be people trying to be over self-indulgent. There might be people really, really having issues with this, the impact on our society, on our culture, on the way things are, and it's really gotten to you. And I feel like you're trying to do the right thing here, because this is your energy, right? And also, you wouldn't be feeling victimized if there wasn't reasons, and this is definitely saying there's an outside reason. But I feel like this is indicating here with the Seven of Swords that you're here, stuck with wailing children while your partner is out. He's actually working, but you see how he has a little more freedom than you, and you're kind of being resentful of that. You've got to let that go. So let's pull one more card for that, just to clarify, because I want a good outcome for you. I'm not settling until we have good outcomes here, right? Because there is always a happy ending or a higher perspective. Because, okay, and I might not even have to pull another card for that, but, I'm seeing here with these energies, you don't have to carry it all. Set it down. Okay? Take a minute, take a beat, find your fire again, get you some coffee, motivate, return back to your basics, return back to that nature, nurturing soul part of you, because here it's covered up, here it's covered in emotion, here it's just you've let it really beat you down over and over and over again. And before you get to this stage, okay, and this goes like this, right? Just shatters. Because see here, you're stuck, you've fallen, and him, I'm assuming, has changed and is, because he's, red and blue. This is orange and greens, very similar colors here. He's just walking away. And on this, so it's maybe, I'm feeling, okay, so death is coming through. All right, so this is going to be one of those moments where you have one of two options. Like I said, you can either make it or break it. And death is coming to you to help you understand that your old life is gone. There's not going to be a normal. This is our new normal. We get used to it. And we can thrive in it. But some of us are holding on to really, really negative vibrations. And you've got to remember to trust. You've got to remember to call on your higher power. If you don't feel like you can do it alone, if you're feeling that you're the one that is victimized and you're having to do it all alone, that is the illusion. You're never alone. And so don't resent your partner for, going out, making a living, and maybe having a little more freedom, but they're paying the bills. They're making sure the mortgage is paid. They have their mission too. And however they cope with that is however they cope with that. It's up to you how you cope with things. And so Spirit wants to remind you, you have one of two decisions, right? You can either fight this fight or realize that you're fighting a greater fight and work with one another and work together on this and be open and honest, because death might be death of illusion. It can be saying, putting it to bed, letting it go, and speaking your truth, trusting that you will be received and that passion is there. It hasn't fallen, okay? You might just need to realize that maybe this is the first big issue that's come up in your relationship. This, what the world is going through right now. Perhaps this is the hiccup. This is the learning curve for you. This is your trial. This is your mastery moment, okay? Are you going to look back and say, I gave up? Or are you going to look back and say, I stuck with it, I never gave up, and look how far I've come? Because Spirit wants you to trust. Because there is opportunity here, okay? There is opportunity in this death card here for you to have rebirth, okay? Brigitte is that phoenix energy. So I'm not leaving you on a negative note. I couldn't do that to you, but this is layers and layers of disappointment. So you've got to clear that out. It is strong resentment. Let it go. Release it. Bury it if you have to. Kill it if you have to. Not literally, that's murder. But, let go of that resentment. Forgive. Come from a place of forgiveness, of radiance, a higher level, and see how that changes things, because I really think it will. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed new moon, and I hope that you will check back in for the next astrological event, and we'll do another pick a card reading. I'm Wildfire and Earth. Thank you so much for watching.